Chosen ones, listen carefully, because this message might save you from a relationship that could cost you your peace, your purpose, and even your future. Many people are not heartbroken because love failed. They are heartbroken because they ignored the signs they were shown from the beginning. And the truth is, most red flags don't appear suddenly. They were always there. You just didn't want to see them. Sometimes it's because you liked the person too much. Sometimes it's because you didn't want to start over. And sometimes it's because you were hoping they would change. But hope without wisdom can lead to destruction. You see, one of the biggest mistakes chosen ones make is this: they see potential instead of reality. You meet someone, and instead of accepting who they are right now, you start imagining who they could become. You begin to excuse their behavior, saying things like they're just going through something, or they didn't mean it that way, or they'll get better with time. But listen, relationships are not built on potential. They are built on patterns. What someone consistently shows you is who they truly are, not what they promise you they will become. And if you ignore those patterns, you are setting yourself up for pain. One of the first red flags you should never ignore is inconsistency. When someone is hot today and cold tomorrow, when their words don't match their actions, when they show interest one moment and disappear the next, that is not confusion. That is a lack of intention. Real love is consistent. It doesn't leave you guessing. It doesn't make you anxious. It doesn't make you question where you stand. If you constantly feel unsure about someone, that uncertainty is your answer. Another red flag is disrespect, especially in small things. Many people think disrespect only means insults or shouting, but it goes deeper than that. It shows in how they speak to you, how they treat your time, how they respond to your feelings. If someone constantly dismisses your concerns, interrupts you, ignores your boundaries, or makes you feel small, that is not love. Love honors, love listens, love values, and if that is missing, you should not ignore it. There is also the red flag of emotional unavailability. Some people will be physically present but emotionally distant. You try to connect, but they shut down. You try to communicate, but they avoid serious conversations. You try to build something deeper, but they keep everything on the surface. And you start blaming yourself, thinking maybe you're asking for too much. But you're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person. The wrong person will make your needs feel like a burden, while the right person will see them as a priority. Another dangerous red flag is lack of accountability. When someone never takes responsibility for their actions, when everything is always someone else's fault, when they apologize without changing, that is a cycle that will repeat, because real change is not in words, it is in behavior. Anyone can say sorry, but not everyone is willing to grow. And if someone shows you again and again that they are not willing to change, believe them. Do not stay hoping for a version of them that does not exist. Chosen ones, you also need to watch how someone treats others, not just how they treat you in the beginning, because anyone can pretend at the start. Watch how they treat people they don't need. Watch how they speak about their past relationships. Watch how they handle conflict, because the way they treat others today is the way they will treat you tomorrow. And here is something very important. If you constantly feel drained after being with someone, that is a sign. Love should not feel like a burden. It should not leave you exhausted, confused, or emotionally unstable. Yes, relationships require effort, but they should also bring peace. If your peace is constantly disturbed, you need to question that connection. Now listen carefully. Ignoring red flags doesn't just hurt you emotionally, it delays your destiny. Because every moment you spend in the wrong relationship is time taken away from the right one. And sometimes God is trying to remove someone from your life, but you keep holding on. You keep going back. You keep giving chances that were never earned. And then you ask God, why am I going through this? But the truth is, God already showed you the signs. You just chose to ignore them. Think about the story of Samson. He was strong, chosen, and anointed. But he ignored the red flags in his relationship with Delilah. The signs were there. The warnings were clear. But he kept going back, thinking it would be different. And that decision cost him his strength, his freedom, and almost his life. That is what happens when you ignore what God is trying to show you. It doesn't just affect your heart, it affects your purpose. Chosen ones, you need to understand that not everyone who comes into your life is sent by God. Some are sent to distract you, to test you, or to teach you. And discernment is what helps you know the difference. This is why you must slow down. Stop rushing into relationships. Stop ignoring your intuition. Stop silencing that inner voice that keeps telling you something is not right. Because that voice is not random. It is God trying to guide you. You deserve a relationship that brings clarity, not confusion, peace, not anxiety, growth, not pain. And you will not find that by ignoring the warning signs. So from today, make a decision. No more ignoring red flags. No more settling for less than you deserve. No more forcing what is not working. Trust what you see. Pay attention to patterns. And most importantly, trust God's guidance. Because the right relationship will not require you to ignore your peace in order to keep it. It will align with your values, respect your boundaries, and support your purpose. So chosen ones, protect your heart, be wise, and remember, not every opportunity is a blessing. Some are distractions in disguise. If this message spoke to you, don't ignore it, because it might be the warning you needed. Please watch